The Fantastic Four First Steps is indeed a good movie. The MCU, I won't say is back because I liked Thunderbolts, but this is a really good movie worth seeing on the big screen. 88% by critics, 93% by the audience. Where will my ranking be? Maybe somewhere in the middle of that. I felt like the whole cast here, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, really good, really solid chemistry between all of them. And I appreciated right in the beginning of this film that it was in a different world than the MCU that we know. And the aesthetic, the design aesthetic of this, if you watch the trailers for this, you know that it looked a little like retro futuristic style from like back in the 70s, 60s, right? And I appreciated that. Now, the story itself, of course, you know that Galactus here is the big bad guy, and Silver Surfer comes and is going to eat their planet, right? And they've got to somehow come together and thwart the evil Galactus. So do they do so? Well, probably. I mean, come on, what would you expect? It's a movie establishing the Fantastic Four. Now, it's not an origin movie, which I appreciated because I didn't need to see how they got their powers. They did so in a clever way of showing like flashbacks, clips, little TV notices of how it all went down and stuff like that. I think it benefited from that because it was able to isolate on this story, a rather simple story of they're helping the planet and stuff, and then the Silver Surfer shows up and says Galactus is coming to destroy your world. Okay, now what do we do? The movie starts out very openly that Sue is pregnant and she's going to have a kid, and it kind of revolves around that theme of a family coming together to protect the newborn kind of thing, right? There's echoes of that throughout the entire film, and then there's a really cool scene with Sue talking to the public about it, because it deals with that whole issue of what would you do to protect your family, right? Your children and stuff like that. Because eventually we're all going to have to do that because Galactus is coming to destroy our planet. And I felt like those story beats worked for me fairly well. The visual effects, at times, I think the CGI was okay. It was really good. I'm still not sold on the stretchy effects, but you know what? Like these two also kind of stole the show here. The Thing and Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch was great. Yeah, the stretchy effects, it's still, it is what it is. But, you know, for overall, I think most people will be happy with this, as the tomato meter reflected. Let's go over to my score sheet and start filling out some of these numbers for the Fantastic Four. Acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point. So the acting overall here, guys, is there something that's in here that's Oscar worthy? It's serviceable. Can I say that collectively as an ensemble, it works? Yes. So I'll give it 1.5 for the acting. There's nothing really in here that says you got to check it out because of this performance. I mean, it's all really well done. It's all really well done. Directing, Shackman, right? Shackman. Execution of the technical aspects is well done. The story pacing, I think at times, this movie's just under 2 hours. I think this probably could have maybe been tweaked a little bit so that it was a little bit tighter, maybe brought down to an hour 45, hour 40, and then it would have felt really tight. But you're going to lose a little fluff on the outside. Pacing, I reserve the right to come back to directing because the story, it's pretty simple. It's fairly straightforward. Galactus is coming. We got to figure out a way to destroy him, right? Here are the players. Here's the Fantastic Four. Is it something that I really want to go back and revisit right away, though? No, but I would totally watch it again, and we'll talk about that a little bit more into the watchability factor. It's just, did it move me up here? It left me a little conflicted in the fact that I saw Thunderbolts, right? So I know the cut scene, the post-credit scene from Thunderbolts. So I was waiting for this movie, Fantastic Four, to tie into that post-credit scene, and it doesn't. This is a totally self-contained story. So, I might come back and bump up story and directing. We'll have to see, because it serves the movie for what it is. It does have some emotional impacts in there. I think I will put story 1.5 right there. Cinematography is great. The cinematography is awesome. It's well shot. It's well framed. The action, you can see everything that's happening. It's no quick cuts, no shaky cam kind of like. So it's all slick. I saw it on the big screen. I saw it on the big huge. I didn't quite see it on the IMAX, but I saw it on the digital laser projection, whatever you call it. Score, soundtrack. It served the movie. I didn't hear a theme in there that made me say I wanted to buy the soundtrack. So we're sitting at 5.5 right now, and I think it will get higher as I go over and take a look at the critics and audience scores here for Fantastic Four. NPR, it's brisk, brightly comic, and most of all, sincere and earnest. This year's superhero mode. Combo that works just as well as it does for Superman in the DC universe. That's weird though. Well, I was watching this movie and I was thinking about Superman, because it's kind of like almost like the same thing of like a big huge thing trying to destroy Earth, sort of kind of thing, right? And we're dealing with alien species and superheroes, right? Decades from now, it will still invite us to escape into it, to delight in its larger-than-life characters, its intergalactic battles, and its heart-stirring moments of heroism, and yes, in its benign winning, blessed goofiness. I don't know what the heck that person's talking about. The Fantastic Four is a rare example of the team dynamic working so well. I didn't even care when the action started. Well, yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about here. Is that the cast is so good here? Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and who plays Ben Grimm? Oh my God, am I a YouTube critic or what? I forgot his name. He's in Mandalorian season 1. Eben Moss Baccarat. Yeah, he did a good job as well. Ralph Ineson as Galactus. Really good. Natasha Lyonne, I think, okay, so that's a story part that could have been totally cut out. We didn't really need that. And you'll see what I mean when you watch the movie, because it's kind of like, I see what you were trying to do with it, and maybe if the movie was 2.5 hours, 3 hours, it gave a little bit more character to Ben Grimm. But I don't know if we need it, because your focus is on Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and Joseph Quinn. And I liked what they did with the Silver Surfer in this one, too. Julia Garner, she did a good job, because she served a purpose for the story where she comes in and you're not totally expecting her to be not charismatic, but you're kind of like, I want to know more about her and why she's doing what she's doing, and it gives you answers. And that's part of a good, satisfying story, right? That they can give you something that's intriguing and closing it off. It's not like a dangling story thread that leaves you going, well, I don't know about that, right? You don't want that to happen. So it doesn't. Let's go down to the audience reviews. I thought it really good, but not great. Just expected more from Marvel after watching Thunderbolt, in which I thought Thunderbolts was a good movie. Thunderbolts I still think is my favorite MCU movie of the year, because I didn't expect it to be that good. And yeah, liked the 60s retro theme. Yeah, a lot of people did. I heard people in the theater stand up and say, I really like the design of it, the look of everything. Yeah. It felt very natural, like it totally existed in that world. Like you could just walk onto that world and everything. Yeah. It was fantastic. Very good. Characters were much stronger than prior version. Great special effects. A little slow in the beginning, or would have been. Yeah, it's a bit slow to get going. The first act, you know that at the end of the first act, Galactus is going to come, and that's the main threat setting the storyline. But because we're foregoing a bit of the origin story, we're not tying that into this movie. We've got to somehow do it a different way of establishing who these characters are, right? And that might be a little too drawn out for some people, but for me, I felt like it worked. I felt like it worked great. Matt Shackman directs. Any more audience scores? So I think it pretty much touched on everything that I was saying, right? About the pacing, about the chemistry. An hour and 55 minutes. It has 2 post-credit scenes. You really only need to, well, actually, you don't need to stay for either of them, really. It's not as important as Thunderbolt's post-credit scenes. Well, yeah, the first mid-credit scene, I guess, shows you where it's going to go, because Doomsday is next, right? Avengers Doomsday? So, yeah, I guess I would stick around for the mid one. The final one is just kind of a fun little thing that you don't really need to worry about that one. Okay, so where does that put me for my final score on Fantastic Four First Steps? Let's just pull up that score sheet and rank things out here. For watchability factor is out of a possible 2 points. It's worth watching on the big screen if you're a big fan of the MCU. It's worth checking that out for sure. That's a full point right there, 6.5. Still a little bit low. Would I watch it again? Yes, I would. I would watch it again. I won't, like, I don't think this is something that I need in my library. It's not a Blu-ray or 4K that I need to have in my library because it'll be on Disney Plus, right? But let's go back here and talk about the directing, because I think there must have been some tough calls about the story. And it goes back to that story with Ben Grimm and the female possible love interest. You can tell that they laid groundwork for certain things there, right? That could have been, and I think I'll give Shackman the benefit of the doubt here. 7.5. 7.5 is, I think, about right for me. Because I don't know where else I like. It doesn't have top-notch acting. Like, it's good acting. I really like Pedro Pascal in this. I think he's fantastic. Vanessa Kirby's also really good. Joseph Quinn, like, they're all good. They're all really good. And if I were to, like, give any more points, I think that's where I could give it. Like, I feel a little bit bad giving the story 1.5 because it's not that grandiose, fantastic of a story, but because of those emotional beats, because I liked it. 7.5, I think, is where I'm going to land, guys. Because I think that's a measured response, a measured score for this movie. And I could easily give this a full 2 points. And I think I will. 8 out of 10. There you go. 4. Fantastic Four. First Steps, 8 out of 10. What did you guys think? Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below, and we will talk about it. And are you looking forward to seeing the next chapter in the story of where this goes? Because I want to know how it ties in to the MCU. I really do. All right, guys. See you next time right here on Mirror Domains.